Hey folks, this is Mr. Curtis over at Oakwood, and today we're going to be talking about Paws, not the warm, fuzzy, soft ones that are on our pets at home, but Paws for orchestra. This is an acronym, 4 letters that help inform the things we need to think about the most when we're trying to make a good tone on the instrument or make a good, pretty, characteristic sound. So, first letter in Paws, we have P. This stands for placement. I really hope this is legible for those of you at home, and it's not backwards. But again, it's placement. Placement refers simply to where I place the bow. So we should have the bow somewhere in between the fingerboard and the bridge. Make sure you're being specific about what bow lane you're in, 3 being the middle bow lane. And then making sure it stays straight in a T shape with the instrument, not in an X, during the entire bow motion, which is done by bending and flexing. So if you can keep that bow straight during all of its use, that's good placement. So from there, the A in Paws, P-A-W-S, stands for angle. The stick of the bow should always be angled ever so slightly towards the scroll of your instrument. So instead of having this bow flat, or even worse, tilted towards my face, you want to roll it forward ever so slightly so that way it's leaning towards the scroll. This means for cellos and basses, you have to actually tilt it towards you slightly because the scroll's up near your head. Okay, that brings us to the W in Paws, weight. That's a weird H. That's what it is. So for lack of a better term, weight is the amount of pressure you apply to the strings with the bow. This is accomplished using the pointer finger. That's why we rested on this big knuckle. Is when you're set up, you can lean on that pointer finger to apply more weight. So because the bow is naturally heavier at the frog, you need less weight when you're close to the frog. Because it gets lighter as you move towards the tip, you need to apply more weight to keep the sound even. So as I went further out and away, I applied more weight with the bow to keep the sound even. If I don't do that, listen, kind of trails off into nothingness. So having smooth weight is really, really important for having a good bow tone. And lastly, the S in Paws stands for speed, which is how fast or slow we move the bow along its way. Now, if your speed is uneven, it creates an inconsistent sound. So we need to make sure the speed stays smooth and relative to the kind of note we're playing, quarter note, whole note, half note, etc., to keep the sound smooth and glassy. So, just as a quick review, Paws. These are the things we think about to help produce the best bow sound or bow tone possible. Placement, angle, weight, and speed. Make sure that you are practicing these every time you pick up the bow. Go ahead and go through your note tree. Remember, starts on an up bow. And focus on Paws. I promise it'll help make a better sound. Good luck.